Okay, Nigovanan everyone, and welcome to another My Thoughts video, and probably even delving into the kind of character I'm going to create for the upcoming Skyblivion, which hopefully is going to come sometime, 2025. The developers say that it's going to come in 2025, so let's just hope that is true. I have seen this video that I have playing in the background right now. So I just have the volume for it very low. I think that's good enough, that volume level, so you can just kind of faintly hear it in the background. It just turned August 5, 2025. It's just a little bit past midnight, 12:13. And before I begin, just kind of forgive me. I do have a headache, and I guess the only thing I can say, just health-wise, maybe not at the best. So if there's just some kind of weirdness, maybe that may go on in the video, just please forgive me for that. That is only if. I mean, it might be okay. Sometimes, just like a headache or blurry eyes, or just feeling faint or something, things like that. So I just want to warn you guys in advance about that. Okay, so I do want to say that there have been three games that have really kept me excited, kept me looking forward to for the future. And one, and it still is, even though it's now released, is Oblivion Remastered, Skyblivion, and then the last thing is The Wayward Realms. There are other things, I'm also, really looking forward to, but I think, most of them are RPGs or roguelikes. But the three big ones have to be Skyrim Remastered, Skyblivion, and The Wayward Realms. In fact, with the Wayward Realms, I'm so I believe in it so much that I'm a backer for that game. But and okay, and the next thing I want to say is that I really feel that between this upcoming Skyblivion and Oblivion Remastered, there really is no need to. It's fine to do comparison, and I make videos doing that, and I talk about it. Sometimes even when playing, when I'm let's playing, recording a let's play. But I feel like you can compare without really competing between, something. In the end, you can say which one you prefer more, you personally, but that doesn't necessarily mean the other one sucks or anything like that. You can still like both, and maybe there are things that you like more about one game, or one version of the game, as opposed to the other one. And maybe they both kind of balance out, and you kind of like them equally for different reasons, or maybe you favor one slightly more than the other. For me, I've always loved, Oblivion Remastered, Oblivion, and then when Remastered came out about a couple months ago, maybe a little bit more than that now, 2-3 months ago, I loved it, even though the frame rate wasn't great, and it was kind of glitchy at parts, but that still did not stop me from really enjoying it. And now that, with the little patches and then the two big patches, the update patch, 1.1, 1.2. Now that they've released, it for me at least, I don't know, maybe everyone will have a different experience, but for me it really fixed things, a lot of things, I guess, little things, little minor things here and there, which even before I didn't really find to be a big deal for me. Um, so yeah, so when it comes to Skyblivion and Oblivion Remastered, I feel that you can uh, enjoy both without having to tear the other one down. Just because one game is newer. I remember when Remastered was just on the verge of coming out, people were really well, it was still kind of split, but then I noticed more and more people were really praising Oblivion Remastered, and even after it came out, even after it had the bugs and the few patches here and there that they came out with, and then uh, the first part of the big patch, they were really praising it and still not really caring so much about Skyblivion. But now that Skyblivion is well, ever since this video and the news that it's coming out, uh, soon or at some point in 2025, they seem to be starting to kind of um, make fun of Remastered, Oblivion Remastered, because this new one is coming out. But you don't really have to do that. You can still love both. That's how I feel about that. Uh, you know, the way it looks, and you can see it right here. That's the thing I've noticed in the comments. When it comes to this, this new devlog, is that they were saying how they don't like the look of Oblivion Remastered, how it looks muddy, or it has this kind of this hazy look and washed out color, and this looks a lot more vibrant. That's fine, but uh, obviously they were going with a much more realistic look. You can even see to that, in my ASMR videos that I did, that I have out, showcasing a few of the various cities in Cyrodiil. Even as I just play the game and just adventuring and looking at everything, it looks beautiful. And this looks great too, but it is also just very much like Skyrim. I have a modded Skyrim, and this, I don't know, it seems to, well, I think this is going off of Skyrim Special Edition, not the anniversary, so it's a little bit, um, maybe like an older engine. I don't know how all this works, but I just think that at least I thought that Skyrim Special Edition is, or was that Legendary Edition? Maybe it's the same thing, so I don't know, but maybe it's going running under slightly older engine than Anniversary Edition. I'm not really sure. I just know that Anniversary Edition is more or less Special Edition, just all the Creation Club stuff has you get with it. I guess, yeah, it's Legendary Edition and Special Edition. I think there's a difference. So actually, I'm just really not too sure. Um, Hold on. Okay, but my point is that I think that when it comes to the graphics, as beautiful as this looks, and Skyrim does look beautiful as well, especially my modded one, and I don't use enhanced lighting and effects anymore. I just use something called relighting Skyrim, and luminosity, I think, was the other one, where it just basically enhances the vanilla lighting of the game, and two of them, and they work in conjunction with each other. So I think, and it still looks great. The lighting is great, the detail and everything. Just like you can see this in this footage here of Skyblivion, but I can just already tell still that Oblivion Remastered still has just, there's something about it where it has a slightly more realistic look and, finer detail to everything. And that's nothing bad about this. I still absolutely love it because it's just very much like Skyrim, which I still absolutely love Skyrim. And to be quite honest, I think I prefer still. I think to me Skyrim is still, as a whole overall, still a slightly better game than Oblivion. As a whole, the original Oblivion, and therefore also the remaster. Aside from the graphical improvements and the lighting uh, remastered. With that aside, and even with some of the few quality of life improvements, like being able to sprint, for one, and some of the other things that they did for it. Despite that, I think at the end, to me, Skyrim still wins out slightly. I still think it is just a slightly better game. Although, even though I've said it before, I think the quests are far more interesting in Oblivion. Such as this one, going into the painting and fighting uh, the the trolls that are made of, you know, pastel. Is it pastel paint and all of that. So things like that. I think it's um, that's why I feel that the quests are just overall better, and more interesting and intriguing to me. In Oblivion. And so, with that aside, I can tell that this is going off of the Skyrim assets. You can see a lot of that in the animations of the enemies, and I think I just saw an ogre that they looked like they were reusing the assets, or the animations, rather, of the giants in Skyrim, and that's perfectly fine, understandable. But I also like how they took things a step further, as you can see here. Um, this is a part where they're talking about how they uh, remodeled, uh, the unique or legendary weapons, things like Goldbrand or yeah, Apotheus. That's a staff that you can buy at Rindar's staff in Imperial City, and probably things like Maroon's Razor, the Ebony Blade, Goldbrand, Azura Star. They're going to have, and their staff of the Everscamp, Wabbajack. They remodeled everything to differentiate it from the regular weapons, because in original Oblivion, aside from the name, it more or less looks the same as the type of material it is made out of. Maybe just recolored a little bit differently, but now they really made it different. And same thing with the armor. Look at that. They made it so it can cater to the different races, which I love. Um, and what was the other thing I wanted to say? Uh, um, well, I guess I can. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to talk about. Uh, when kind of comparing, Skyblivion with Oblivion Remastered. So now I want to talk about the character I am thinking of creating and making for Skyblivion. Those who have followed my remastered, Let's Plays, know that I'm playing as Ariadne, the Breton mage. I love playing mage class, any type of mage class, even the they call not spin-off, but variants, different kind of spell casting variants, and even cross classing, like spell swords and battle mages, where they're more of not just pure mage, but combination of maybe like a fighter and a mage, um, and necromancers as well, and druids, where they specialize in having pets. Where, as you can see there, the ogre is using the giant animations and walking. And there, that's Astrid, that the way that Brotherhood member is sitting. Uh, but I think for Skyblivion, even though typically I love playing mages, my second favorite kind of class is stealthy kind of characters, whether they're assassin or thief. Um, Nightblades, where they use limited amount of magic, particularly illusion magic. Things that cater on the stealthy side, and poisons and things like that. Um, so I think I may go with either thief or brotherhood. And there's a difference, a thief character or an assassin. For me, if I'm playing a thief, I will not kill. I will just paralyze them and do thieving things. A good example of this would be I think his name was Gaston. Gaston in Lady Hawk, played by Matthew Broderick. He also went by the name Mouse. That was his nickname. There was a scene where he's escaping the captain of the guards, who's working for the bishop, and he was at a tavern, and he was basically caught there. And if you watch that scene, it's so cool. You can see how he escapes. He doesn't, he may hit you or trip you or something, but he won't kill, something like that. I thought that was absolutely one of the best scenes, by the way, in Lady Hawk. And to me, one of Matthew Broderick's, probably my favorite role. I know he's got that Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is cool, and I remember seeing that. Was that in high school, or was that... It might have actually still been elementary school. I just can't remember anymore, but I know for sure I saw a Labyrinth in elementary school, right? But so when I'm playing a thief, I will not kill. I'll paralyze you, or I'll apply poison on a dagger, maybe like an iron dagger or a silver dagger. Nothing too lethal, because I don't want to accidentally kill them, although accidents may happen. When I say kill, I'm talking about this more so applies to humans or humanoid creatures, orcs, Bretons, Imperials, etc., right? But when it comes to like wolves or ogres and monsters and goblins, those I have a lot less problems killing, and will still kill. But I will, if I'm able to get away, like a thief, I'll do that. Now, when it comes to an assassin, that's a different story. I will kill, and I will assassinate, and hide in the shadows, and try to backstab my enemies. That kind of thing. So there's a difference, and you can do both, actually. If you want to play like a thief / assassin character, maybe I could role play it where I start off as a thief, but I'm slowly kind of going toward the dark side, and I join the Brotherhood next after I complete the Thieves Guild. In fact, I think I do remember Armand, I believe was his name, who was like the recruiter for Thieves Guild in Oblivion. He said, and do not kill. We're not the Dark Brotherhood. He even, makes that clear to you. So I potentially might go with a thief transitioning to assassin character. That's what I might do. Otherwise, if I just change my mind last minute, I would go for just any type of mage character. Oh, and by the way, for my Oblivion Remastered, I haven't been playing with any mods. I've never even before all the patches, from day one, not a single mod, and I'm not going to play it with a mod. I said I really want to try to play it the way this remastered was intended, by the company, by Virtuos and Bethesda. So far I've stuck true to that, and I'd really like to do the same for Skyblivion, because Skyblivion is a mod unto itself anyway, right? So because if I was to play a necromancer in there, if they're following how it is in Oblivion, you can only have one summon at a time. And I don't know exactly how it is here, but if they're following the same perk tree thing, I think I saw something a couple months ago when they were talking about it. It looked like the skills were for Skyblivion were different, but I don't know if they would still work the same. I don't know as it did in Skyrim, where, like for example, in the Conjuration tree line in Skyrim, you can have twin souls, right? So you can summon two things, right? Have two summons at a time, and there are mods that can further make that further enhance that, or enable you to have a lot more summons. 3 summons, 4, 5, 6, like that. But I think I would stay away from that. If there's anything like that, and just play it as if it was still Oblivion. Play it like Oblivion. That kind of thing. But I can already tell there are differences here. They've in Skyblivion they've brought some cut content back, which I love. Relocated certain buildings like that Lyle's. And this is a new shop here that they brought back to Anvil, or that they brought to Anvil, I should say. And the Lyle's used to be on the docks, and I remember that's the shop where he was having problems with bandits and thieves at night. But I think they put that inside Anvil, and they created some sort of marketplace. So, yeah. So that's if I was to play a necromancer, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to stick with just keeping it the way that the developers intended, and besides that, there's less chance to break the game. I feel it has. It's going to have glitches, I'm sure. The glitches that make Bethesda game funny and entertaining, unintentionally funny, I should say, because of the Radiant AI. And I guess, yeah, that is it. So like I said, I will try to create either just a thief character or assassin character, or have it. There's Benaris Manor. I just got done doing that quest, and I own that place now, that mansion. It was 5K gold. So yeah, that's it. And I think I might make him a Khajiit, and I will call him Krillik the Quick. Or if I make her female, I will probably make her a Bosmer, Bosmer, not Bosner, Bosmer, Wood Elf, and I will call her Shada. I think that's what I will do. So she'll either be Shada, the Wood Elf, or Krillik the Quick, the Khajiit. Okay, so that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and those are just my thoughts on what we have so far. And I should do one of these for the Wayward Realms, but I don't know enough yet about how the classes are going to be, or what classes are there going to be, or was there not going to be one and you just sort of create it along the way. Maybe something similar to how they did it in Dungeon Siege, right? You just play it, and then it eventually assigns you a class, and your class can keep changing if you switch up your style, something like that. Okay, so anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and hopefully it will not take too long for Skyblivion to come out in 2025. And see you.